All right, Savvy, we are live, and I'm so excited to do this again. I almost screwed up and got our time wrong, and then you said, well, let's reschedule, and I said, no way, I'm so excited for the show. We have so much to talk about. Welcome, everybody. My name is Tah Groen, and I'm here with Savvy, and this is our 6th episode. We are on a roll.
Wow.
We are doing, yeah, absolutely. We are doing part 2 of our detox series. And so I am a longtime yoga teacher. I have a YouTube channel, Healing Touch Vinyasa. So you will find all of our episodes on that YouTube channel. So if you're not subscribed, please subscribe to that channel. And you support us in what we're doing here to help humanity learn how to, oh my gosh, I'm going to cry. Woo. To learn how to heal themselves from the inside out. We are not responsible for your health. Please make sure that you take full responsibility for your health. We are not doctors here. We're not here to prescribe. We are just here to give you our insight and our experience on how we feel that the human body works. I am on the absolute mind, body, spirit connection. I've been practicing yoga for 25 years and teaching for 25 years. There are many videos on this channel that you can go to start your healing journey through the body, through the breath, and through movement. And on that note, let's get started. Savvy, go ahead and introduce yourself and share with us what your experience has been in this lifetime, because I know we have decades of experience.
My name is Savy Vargas. I am a person who is a research junkie, I guess. It's like I'm always in a class. I'm always studying endlessly. Even if I'm in traffic and stuck at a light, I'm studying. So all things health. It's fascinating as we put this puzzle together. We're all humans, we're all the same, and yet we're all different as well. And so, as you said, with all the information that I've taken in, all the information you've taken in, it's a crime to not turn around and give it away. So we're giving it away. We take it in to give it away. That's what we do. And so out of compassion for others, all things, we have to reach out and relieve suffering, human suffering, animal suffering, the suffering of the planet. However you want to look at it, that's why we're doing this channel, right? And so we talked about detoxification. Detoxification is a deep subject. I'm a detoxification specialist. I'm a graduate of the International School of Detoxification and many other things too. It's a long bio, but since we're doing detoxification today, let's just take it there that I work in that field of cleaning bodies out. And now that we have a stem cell activation patch that we highlight, we can now regenerate tissue. But you can't really regenerate tissue effectively unless you clean the body out first. And so we start with that. And last time we really started with the GI tract, not just the colon, the entire GI tract, starting in the mouth all the way down. And now it's only appropriate that we talk about the liver. I could talk about the kidneys next if I wanted to. The kidneys and liver kind of are simultaneous, to be honest, because they're both channels of elimination. But there's so much to talk about that I'm just going to start with the liver. Does that sound good, Tom? So we did GI tract first, and now we're going to go liver.
Excellent. And on a physical note, it's amazing practice, because I was contemplating a yoga practice for detoxification and in my mind creating a sequence, and it's all about twists and movement of the torso and bringing circulation and awareness to that central inner organs. And it is all connected, right? So how do you isolate on a turn?
Yeah.
You're actually doing kidneys, liver, and the whole thing. So yeah, that was my 2 cents.
Well, very interestingly enough, when it comes to posture, we talk about posture. And when I was training people in functional exercise, the first thing you do is you make them aware of their kinetic chain and how they stand, walk, sit, and all that. And aside from just looking better with better posture, the internal organs are a huge part of that. So if a person is slumped over with very bad posture, this is affecting their lungs for breathing. This is affecting their heart. It's affecting their GI tract. It's affecting their liver. Poor posture is a lot more than just standing up straight and looking better when you walk. It's literally part of your physical health to have your posture correct and your kinetic chain, which is why the core in the body for exercise is so important. Maybe number one is the core.
Right. Oh, excellent topic for sure. Why would that be the case is the question. I mean, I know, but I would love for your elaboration on the core. So having a strong core is for what in our detoxification process? Because let's stay on topic. Why would the core have to be stable in order to create good detoxification in the body?
Well, I mean, first of all, the core is the center of everything. It's what connects the bottom to the top, right?
Yeah.
But if we just looked at the core, what's behind the scenes there? Well, you have the small intestine, you have the large bowel too. The liver is in there, the spleen, the gallbladder. It's all right in there. And so the core is, it's key to everything when it comes to your health. So, going into the liver, let's think about the fact that the liver is the largest organ of all the organs. Is that important? Why would we need it to be so large? What does it do? What does the liver do? Well, it's got over 500 different functions. Think about that. 500 different functions. That's a lot. That's a lot. And really, you have to have all 500 working correctly. Think about this. The liver is so important that in mice, when they do laboratory experiments on the liver, they can literally remove 70% of the liver and it grows back.
Wow.
Did you know that?
No, I didn't know. 70%. That's a lot.
I mean, that's a lot.
Yeah.
And in mice,
Yeah, let's see. So you only have three fingers left and you can still grow that liver.
You grow the liver. And literally within like a week to 10 days in mice. Is that amazing?
Yeah.
So it's the same in humans. So if you lose a portion of your liver, it can grow back. It can regenerate.
Why? Oh my gosh. Well, that's interesting because I've heard that be careful with your liver because it doesn't regenerate.
No, it does regenerate. In fact, they used to say that the brain, like if you have a stroke, that those cells are gone. That's it. They're gone forever. And now they know now that that's not true either.
Oh, wow. Oh, wow. Okay.
So there's a study called The Brain is Plastic. Plasticity. In other words, if it can't just completely rebuild that section from stroke, then it can go around it and still take over the function that has been damaged. So the body is a regenerating machine, and that's why we use our X39 patch, because it is now activating stem cells. Say you're beyond the age of 60. Well, you've lost 70, 80% of your stem cell activity. And now we can regenerate that again with light, right? So the fact that the liver can regenerate is amazing.
Well, that's huge in itself, because I know that a lot of people think that the liver cannot regenerate. And so now with these new studies, is this just recently?
No, it's not new. I mean, it's amazing. It's amazing that it can, because if you have an organ that is responsible for over 500 functions, you're not going to live without this organ. You have to have the liver. Like you can live even with one kidney, right? You can live without the spleen. you're going to have low quality of life. But the liver, you cannot live without your liver. And if you, of course, you can't live without the kidneys either, but you can live with one kidney, right?
Well, this is great news. I love the fact that now the cirrhosis of the liver, all of this, so you can reverse alcoholism.
You can reverse
fix that liver and create a healthy liver again.
But what people need to remember is you have to get after it, because unfortunately the ship can sail if you wait too long.
Okay, got it.
You don't want to wait so long. Like I've had some people in my family that had the C word, you know, cancer, and they only went with conventional therapies. And, you know, a lot of those therapies will kill you before even the disease will. They're so toxic and acidic, like chemo and radiation, etc. And they can wait too long.
Yeah.
Right. To turn around and try the other therapies. Now, interestingly enough, just touching on a couple of things with the liver. So everything that goes in your mouth, I don't care if it's food, water, alcohol, drugs, prescription drugs, I don't care what it is. Everything that goes in has to be metabolized by the liver. Yeah. Everything that goes in has to be metabolized. And so it metabolizes all of our nutrients, right? Carbs, fats, proteins, and any of the drugs. This is what people need to remember. You can literally dig your own grave with your fork.
Yeah,
right?
We know this. Yeah,
and
we know this. And then all of the undigestible sugars and oils and everything just gets clogged in there, and the liver has to cleanse it.
And then you get what they call fatty liver.
Yeah.
Fatty liver's disease. And you can have alcoholic fatty liver, you can have non-alcoholic fatty liver, right? And so, in fact, the non-alcoholic fatty liver is becoming an epidemic. Now, why would that be? Why would that be? What have they done to our food? The industrial food complex, what have they done to our food? Everything is in boxes and in bags. It's frozen, right? It's completely changed. Industrialized farming has changed completely the way people eat. Because
right. And the fallacy that frozen food is as good as fresh food, that it needs to be addressed. And microwave food is as good as non-microwave food. The prana, the life force energy is gone. You can feel it when you're eating it. You can feel when you're eating a frozen item, you know, something that's been frozen and defrosted. It's not the same. It doesn't have that life. It doesn't have that vitality. What about the microwave? Just killing all the nutrients in that food. So yeah, eat fresh, microwave.
In fact, they did a test with microwaved water. And if you take microwaved water and put it into your plants, it kills your plants.
Yeah.
So instead of giving life to the plant, it kills the plant.
Yeah.
So that should tell you about microwaves already.
Yeah, tea. People putting their cup in the microwave to heat it up, or heating up their coffee. Oh, please don't do that.
So we're so lazy now that we can't wait another couple of minutes on the stove.
Yeah.
Right? To boil the water. So then if the liver metabolizes everything that comes into it, you can have a healthy liver or you can have a fatty liver. So now, does the liver make bile or does the gallbladder make bile?
Oh my gosh, you're going to have to review me. I know that the gallbladder can get gallstones from being backed up, too much salt. So how does that chain work? Like, where did the salts come from in the liver and all of that? Yeah.
So really the liver is the one that makes the bile. And the bile drips down into the gallbladder like a little bag that holds it.
Yeah.
That holds it. Right. And so what is the bile for? Well, the bile is to emulsify fats.
Right.
And so out of the whole human body is alkaline, except the stomach, which is acidic, like very acidic, 2.5 pH. Everything else is alkaline, though. And so bile on the pH scale, 7 is neutral, right? And everything above 7 goes to alkaline, alkaline, alkaline. And then everything below 7 is acidic, acidic, acidic.
Yes.
Right? And it jumps by times 10. And so if you go from a 7 to a 6, that's 10 times hotter. If you go from a 6 to a 5, that's 100 times hotter, like that, right?
Yeah.
Well, bile is 8.5 alkaline. It's very alkaline. And so when you eat fats, especially say, for example, animal fats, as an example, like a fatty steak, as that thick fat is coming through, the gallbladder squirts bile on it at 8.2, 8.5, and it emulsifies it and breaks it into little tiny parts, right? And then it can go down into the duodenum and then into the small bowel and finally get it absorbed, right? And so we have to have bile, and we have to have our gallbladder. We should have our gallbladder, but gallbladder surgery is like number one practically in America because it's full of stones, like you mentioned, right? And so I just did a study on that yesterday and discovered that even high amounts of cortisol and all the stress hormones, are also involved in making gallstones. Isn't that interesting? So they're made of gallstones are made of cholesterol, bile salts, and can actually have stress hormones embedded into the stone too. So,
oh my gosh, you're getting very nerdy, and I had to move my and I love it, but I had to move my dog's bowl because he was crunching his food right next to me.
oh,
So,
really? I didn't even hear it.
oh, good. So the repeat the last part about the change in the pH and why. What is so significant? What is the point of that?
Well, like I was saying, that the whole body is alkaline except the stomach. And
Okay.
so bile is like an 8.5 alkalinity, and bile is used like a detergent. It's literally a detergent for breaking down and emulsifying fats. So it's not unlike soap in the greasy pan to break the grease up and clean the pan. And so bile is similar to that, like detergent in breaking down fat into
Okay.
little tiny fat globules that we can actually absorb.
Right. And so just on the next level, so then what is gallstones? Why would that build up in the body? What's the dysfunction there?
So it's going to go back to diet and environmental pollutants too, because people are eating such a processed food diet that the liver's having a hard time metabolizing all of these, GMOs, food additives, inorganic minerals that aren't plant derived, et cetera, et cetera. And this stuff winds up down into the gallbladder. And then you have the stress hormones come in, as I was saying.
That's the part that I missed. So yeah, so
Yeah.
the stress hormones creates, go ahead. I'm getting it now.
So the gallstone can be excess cholesterol,
Okay.
excess iron, and other inorganic minerals. And then you have stress hormones that are also trapped now inside of a gallstone. Excess cortisol and things like that are associated with stress.
Right. And would you consider that too acid then? So it's creating an acidic environment and not the alkaline environment that the gallbladder needs.
Yes. And then the liver has become overwhelmed and trying to keep the body clean because it's like a big filter.
Yeah.
So it's a big filter, right? I mean, it does 500 things. So it's not just a filter. It's also like a chemical factory too. I mean, the liver is responsible for producing the majority of our glutathione.
Right. And so, there's a lot of controversy about acid and alkaline. So what I'm getting from this is that the body is becoming too acidic and the liver can't catch up with the alkalinity and that the gallbladder is required to do in order to digest our food and eliminate toxins in our body. Is that kind of it?
Well, the spleen in our body is kind of the blood cleaner.
Okay.
But the liver is a big filter as well.
Right.
So when the blood is dirty, the filter is under the liver is under stress.
Such incredible stress. Yes.
It can't keep up. And so what
Right.
happens is some of this toxicity from the liver is dripping down now into our gallbladder.
Right.
We're getting gallstones.
Yes.
Because again, going back to pH, in the body from my studies, from what I do and the guys that I follow, the pH of the body is so important that the more acidic that you get, the more toxic you become.
Yes, and that's kind of what I just said. That philosophy, when you say acid and alkaline, it's such a simple concept, but we're breaking it down. You're breaking it down into the actual mechanics of why that is the case, and it's the body has the filtering mechanisms can't keep up with creating the alkalinity in the body.
Yeah, so when you're super acidic, the body will pull minerals out of your bones to try to keep you alkaline.
Yeah.
And then if it's too much there, then it literally goes to cholesterol as a buffer, acid. And then finally it goes to water. And so we have the minerals, the cholesterol, and the water. And so now gallstones are made up of a lot of cholesterol too. And so it's really an after effect of being so acidic.
Yes.
Our minerals aren't getting the job done. Now we're going to the cholesterol, and then we go to the water to try to buffer.
Absolutely. Yep.
Now we have, gallbladder surgery. These guys go in and they want to cut them out and throw them away instead of doing a gallbladder cleanse. But if your gallbladder is gone, does the liver still keep making bile?
Oh, it would have to.
It still makes bile, but now it doesn't have a container to hold the bile. So now it could drip all the time without anything to catch it into the duodenum at an 8.5 alkalinity, which could actually burn.
Wow.
That could burn over time. And so now the liver can also get stones. It can have stones without a gallbladder. Now,
because we didn't address the root cause. You didn't address the root cause. And so let's move. I mean, I think that you may be ready to move on to some solutions. What are some of our solutions to help keep the liver healthy? And and we know fresh fruits and vegetables. And in recap of our last show, remember what we talked about, the mono diet and keeping the food combining. We got all that. What else would you like to address to keep the detox of the liver? Because that's the key, right? The detoxing the liver.
Right. And so the liver has to filter everything coming through the body and metabolize nutrients, by the way. And I did want to highlight that with the liver, when it comes to the thyroid, a lot of people have the low thyroid these days. And the T4 to T3 conversion for the thyroid hormone actually takes place in the liver, not in the thyroid. And so to quote Dr. Bergman, if you have a thyroid problem, it might not have anything to do with your thyroid, and it might have to do with your liver.
Wow, that is huge. So go ahead and repeat that one more time so the person with the thyroid out of balance can really hear that.
So a person that has thyroid issues, especially low thyroid, your thyroid problem might not have anything to do with your thyroid. It might actually be your liver, because the T4 to T3 conversion happens in the liver. So imagine if you cleaned your liver with a liver cleanse, it could actually maybe take care of your thyroid problem.
Wow, that is powerful information. Just that alone can help. And again, I just want to reiterate that we are not here to diagnose or treat, and that to use your inner discernment and listen or consult your physician.
Yeah. So then when we get to fat soluble vitamins, vitamin D, vitamin E, vitamin K, vitamin A, we have to have our liver functioning properly in order to absorb those nutrients. because we need bile for that too. And so the liver can store, vitamin D, vitamin E. Vitamin E is really important for liver health, by the way. So we talk about what can we do for the liver. Well,
Yep.
you mentioned the cleaner diet, the fruits, berries, the melons, the salads, and all of that. And then there's literally a liver cleanse you can do with herbs. And then, if we were to go to the detox center here in my valley, you would do a liver cleanse with herbs, and they would add actually colonics to that as well.
Like right. And some of the key, just, because I know them as milk thistle, dandelion are top, even holy basil, the tulsi is the name of it. So there are a number of herbs, but those three would be my top: the holy basil and the milk thistle, and what was the other one I said? Dandelion.
Dandelion root.
Yeah.
Maybe even some marshmallow root is good too. But yeah, especially milk thistle. Everybody kind of knows about that one.
Yeah, absolutely.
And then, of course, bumping up your glutathione levels even more. And we have a glutathione patch.
Yeah, we have a patch for that. Where's my patch? There's my little patch. It's so easy. It's just this little, it's like a Band-Aid that you put on. But the lab results, this is what shocks me, that the science behind it, 300 times increase in the blood for glutathione when you're using these patches.
In 24 hours.
In how many hours?
24 hours.
In 24 hours.
So in one day, you can boost your glutathione level, which is going to help your liver detoxify all the environmental pollutants, all the stuff you're eating that's incorrect, and also clean and regenerate itself too. Other things that are good, I mentioned vitamin E is very good. Omega-3s are very good. Ginger is very good. All the berries, we talked about that. And the enzyme in pineapples, bromelain, is very good.
Yes.
Chlorella and spirulina are very, very good. Cayenne pepper is good too. And of course, extra vitamin D is very good.
Excellent. Oh my gosh, those are all my favorites. What about aloe? I heard aloe is amazing for the digestion tract. Does it also affect the liver cleanse as well? Anything on aloe vera?
I would think so. I would think aloe vera would be very anti-inflammatory and more probably for the GI tract. Yeah. But because the GI tract and the liver are connected, I would have to say yes, because everything that comes through and gets absorbed into the blood then goes into the liver. So I would say yeah to aloe vera as well. Yeah.
So what a great list of herbs and supplements. Thanks.
I'll tell you the number one killer of the liver in the entire world is Tylenol.
Oh, yes. I thought you were going to say alcohol, but no, Tylenol is for sure easily. I mean, because, teenagers are using that, especially girls use that. It's in their purse, they're starting their menstrual cycle. They're just carrying around Midol and Tylenol and just using it like it's candy. It's horrible, horrible. That habit needs to, because that habit starts in teenage years and then it continues. And then guess what happens? It continues to the next generation, because as soon as the child's uncomfortable, they're going to go, oh, what they need is their liquid Tylenol. And then they start giving their baby the Tylenol.
Oh, I forgot about liquid Tylenol. How crazy.
So it's just a cycle that I've noticed from teenage years in our society. It is.
And here it is over the counter. And I know that these drugs like Tylenol and Advil, the coating on them is got heavy metals in it on top of it.
Yeah.
So 20 billion doses per year sold of Tylenol.
Yeah.
20 billion.
Right. And it's because of the conditioning. It's because of the habit of like, oh my gosh, I'm in pain. I need to get out of pain. My cramps are horrible. And then it's carried in their bag, just to pop at lunch. 1 in the morning, 1 at noon, and then right before they go to bed. That's 3 a day, probably.
3 a day. And I did a study on that, and Tylenol is linked to a 540% increase in asthma. Wow.
Yeah.
Can you imagine? And I was just telling you about a guy I talked to last night who's had asthma.
Yeah, I can't believe I'm getting a little fired up about that, but it just kind of, it makes me pissed off, actually. So angry that nobody's talking about that. So thanks for bringing that up.
How about this? The hepatitis B shot. Hepatitis B shot. I believe that's given even to babies, infants.
Yes.
The hepatitis B shot literally causes liver cells to die.
Wow.
So I can imagine starting off life with my liver cells under attack right out of the gate, starting off life. That's crazy.
Right.
And I know it's recommended even by the World Health Organization. Some of the symptoms of a weak, dirty, polluted liver, I'm just going to give a few bullets of that.
Okay.
One is weakness and fatigue. Do we not hear about chronic fatigue? It's the number one complaint going to the doctors. Chronic fatigue is.
Yeah.
Nausea, of course. Weight loss probably because now we have so much toxicity combined with our messed up GI tract that you're not really absorbing or metabolizing your nutrients correctly. Vomiting, that makes sense too. Abdominal pain, swelling in the legs, of course, jaundice, right? It's been about 2 months ago, one of the guys I work with sent me a photograph of his wife and said, my wife is in trouble. Look at her eyes, and her eyes were straight up yellow.
Oh my gosh.
Straight up yellow, and she's probably maybe 50. Straight up yellow with jaundice in her eyes. That much of a toxic liver at that age too. So those are some of the bullets on symptoms. What else can we say here? Oh, we haven't talked about Dr. Hulda Clark. Dr. Hulda Clark was, she had the audacity to write a book, let's see if I can get it up here, called The Cure for All Cancers. Wow, that's brave to put a title like that on a book in today's world.
Right.
All cancers. You know what this book is about? It's about parasites. Parasites. And guess what you can have in the liver? Liver flukes.
Flukes.
Flukes. Flukes. Liver flukes in the liver. And according to Hulda Clark, that can give you cancer. Just another thing to think about.
Oh my gosh, that's not a pleasant thought. That's disgusting.
But think about this. How would it get there? And we talked about this before. It would have to be the terrain. So if your terrain is dirty and full of garbage, your body, then that is the breeding ground for something like that to live in you. It can't live in you if you're clean, because they're literally sort of eating garbage, right? And so if your liver is that polluted, then you could wind up with a liver fluke. And you could get rid of them. You get rid of them with herbs, right?
Yes.
And then they've got the zapper. If you've heard of the zappers, these little zappers put out this little zapping pulse at a particular frequency, and you wear it. Say you would wear it.
To get rid of them, because they don't like the frequency, the vibration. It's a frequency medicine. Love it.
Yeah, and it's a little battery operated, zapper. And
I just want to wear it just to prevent it.
Just to prevent it.
Yeah.
I mean, people don't realize, like, for example, my friend David, who's in this valley, who has a detox center, who does the liver cleanses and all that. He does colonics down there. He'll do 10-day, 20-day cleanse. And he's got an on-demand machine, and they're using zappers, and they're using parasite herbs and heavy metal and all that. And more than once, including about 2 weeks ago, he sent me a photograph of I'm going to say it was 12-foot long tapeworm that came out of a woman.
Yeah.
So tapeworm was. I'm
not surprised here because I've already heard this story. But when I first heard the story, I was, what?
Well, you're like, there's just no way.
So you're shocking. It's shocking.
Yeah, you would think this is somebody in some part of Africa that lives still in a hut and is drinking out of this dirty water hole. But no, it's here too. It's here too. And so it kind of goes back to Jack LaLanne. Do you remember him? You remember who Jack LaLanne was?
Yeah. Very enthusiastic man. Very enthusiastic.
I mean, the great grandfather of fitness, Jack LaLanne.
Yeah.
And he would talk about diet. And his joke was, if it tastes great, spit it out. If man makes it, don't eat it. And there's a little bit of truth in there when it comes to our liver. And so just know that the liver is responsible for over 500 different things in the body. It metabolizes every nutrient that comes through, every drug, everything that you do. So be conscious of what you put in the mouth. Treat your body like it's a temple.
Yeah.
Not a dumpster.
Exactly. So, but using the glutathione. So say you are feeling under the weather or have, eaten a meal or just trying to recover from vacation that was decadent. Would glutathione be a good choice to use to help, do that, to keep the body clear, clean?
Fruit smoothies, green drinks, of course, salads, kind of going more raw for a while.
Yeah,
so
to clear it out.
And you really, kind of went off the rails and it was fun. You were on vacation and you're in Italy and you eat Italian food. So you come back and you sort of go now on more of a raw food thing for a while, a lot of watery stuff. And you up your glutathione. And then if you're going to up your glutathione, it would be awfully smart to add the binders that we talked about, the charcoal.
Right. And I will put those in our show notes too. Some of your favorite binders that you recommend. And what are binders for people who haven't watched some of our shows? Because again, this is our 6th show. If you've been following us, you know what binders are. But go ahead and give us a recap on what those specific binders are.
Right.
And why do we need them?
Think of your blood as the river of life. So our blood is the river of life, our circulatory system, and it's the kitchen. Hence, whatever you put in is in your kitchen, in your blood, and going through your liver. So it can be, your blood can be the river of life, but it can be the river of garbage too. And so if we purge the liver and all of the cells with that amount of glutathione, 300% increase, your blood could now be the river of garbage. And so we need binders to capture the metals, the plastics, the toxins, the pesticide, the herbicide, the fungicide, the GMOs, all of that. We need to catch it and take it out through the bowels.
Right. Or otherwise you're going to feel more fatigue, more brain fog, and the jaundice. I mean, that's a perfect example of being blood too thick with toxins that the eyes become. So binders are very important to keep the blood free from those from the garbage that's coming out of the cleanse.
Credit to Dr. Pompa. Dr. Pompa uses the street sweeper analogy. If you've ever seen the street sweeper machine going down the road and it's kicking up all of this dust, and it's flying all up, and then it comes back and lands all over the place. That's what could happen with the cleanse. And we don't want it just floating around and landing all over the body again. We want to catch it and out it goes.
Yes, absolutely.
Otherwise, you can make yourself even sicker.
Yes. Oh,
And that's the danger.
Such a good point. Being careful and cautious with your cleanses for sure, and making sure you have binders. In fact, I know that you have in the works a full plan for safe detox. And so that will be part of your offerings for people. I'm excited. I can't wait to really dive into what your protocol is. I think it would be very helpful and people need this. So we'll keep everybody posted on that content for sure.
I wanted to just mention something about cholesterol, because the liver makes cholesterol. And so is cholesterol a good thing or not? What would you say, Tah?
Well, I have a continuing discussion with one of my friends and yoga clients, and I would love to bring her on. Her name is Marjan, and she has shared with me that there is an incredible fallacy about high cholesterol being bad. Okay. And I don't know the specifics, but it sort of makes sense. Like eggs and butter, there's, wanting us to tone down, the mainstream Western medicine, wanting to tone down the cholesterol. Too many eggs is bad. Too much butter is bad, yet it's not true. And so how do you articulate that?
You're right. So if you've ever seen the cholesterol of an Eskimo, it is 3 times higher than what they call high in this country.
Yes.
It's the same also with high blood pressure as well. And so the drug companies, the powers that be out there, they like to move the numbers. And it's called doctoring the data. And so they doctor the data to skew it into the fear mongering that they do to get you running. Oh, my blood pressure's high. I need a med. Oh, my cholesterol's too high. I need some meds.
Right. It's for the monetary gain.
It's
so evil. I am so upset. This is more fire. Tylenol. We talked about Tylenol being pushed on us and conditioned on us. Now we're talking about cholesterol, conditioning us to believe that high cholesterol is bad and that you need now to be on this medication. And you're saying high blood pressure too is not bad?
Well, I mean, yeah, too high is bad. Yeah. But the 120 over 80, it used to be something like 140 over, the numbers were different, and they keep moving the numbers to where it's easier and easier to have high blood pressure.
Right.
But it's actually normal for your blood pressure to get a little higher as you get older, but there's reasons for that too. I say normal, but there's ways to keep it perfect, even if you're 90. But the thing about cholesterol is this: the body makes it. It's literally super essential. The brain, 50% cholesterol, 50. The myelin sheaths of your nerves are built from 100% cholesterol.
Right.
100%. Vitamin D3 cannot be manufactured without cholesterol.
I love it. So we're just flipping it. It's been reversed. Cholesterol bad, and you're saying cholesterol is amazing for our body. It's a raw material for many things. That's
right. You cannot make hardly any of your hormones, testosterone, estrogen, without cholesterol.
Yeah.
So if we have cholesterol-based gallstones, then we're talking about something else here.
Yeah.
Something else.
Yeah, and that's the conversation that we had at the beginning of the. So if you missed that, go back to the beginning and you'll understand the mechanics of what those levels of creating more alkaline is with these substances. So when the body's acid and we're using cholesterol to neutralize, then that's not a good thing. That's what you're saying.
Yeah. So when somebody says you have high cholesterol, you have to look at the fact that your body has become full of acids. Now, if the body in its intelligence keeps pulling minerals out of your bones, you're going to become so brittle that you're going to have pre-osteoporosis. You're going to have, hip fractures, break your femur, and all of this thing because you become brittle. And so the body will go then to cholesterol to buffer acids. Right. So obviously with your fork, again, you can turn all that around. And let's end on this note.
Okay, great. I was wondering, because Savvy could talk for hours, and so can I. So yes, thank you for reining it in. So we'll end on this.
We get fired up. I mean, so red blood cells, as an example, they only last like 120 days, and then you get new ones. Your skin renews itself like every 28 days. Everything in the body is being replaced all the time with new stuff. So when these people talk about the word chronic, you need to throw the word chronic out of here, because you can regenerate, have a whole new body.
Oh, I love this.
right? Over time, you have a whole new you based on what you took in.
Yeah.
Right?
It's the regeneration. It is what you always say. The body is meant to heal. We are healing machines.
Machines.
Yeah,
Healing
healing machines.
biological masterpieces that regenerate themselves. That's why a liver can be 70% gone.
Yes.
And grow all the way back.
Yeah.
Now, you need stem cells for that. That's a whole nother topic.
Yeah.
We have to have our
that is excellent. Yeah, our stem cell activation patch. In fact, this is why Savy and I are connected through Lifewave. He is here supporting me as I am supporting him in sharing the Lifewave technology with everybody. So yes, if you're interested in becoming a brand partner with us, I have, unlimited conversations available. Let's chat.
Let's chat. And look, we can't do it all. We need help. So anybody who's interested in this type of work, partner up, because we need the help. There's 7.8 billion people that all need this stuff to be shared with them, because
we're
living in a very toxic planet right now. And
that tears me up. That is really the whole point, and the motivation and the inner light that we that drives us, but drives both of us.
That's right. Yeah. That's right. That's why we do it. I love it.
Yeah, me too. Me too. All right, Savy, thank you so much. I will just we're on a roll. We're on number 7. Next one will be 7. This is number 6. So be sure to watch the previous shows if you haven't watched them. They're incredible content in there from Savy. Yeah, it's like there's so many now that I can't even list them off the top of my head. I have to go back and look and see what we did.
So I guess next time, if we're going to stay on this topic, we will have to talk about the kidneys. Okay. And then we can go back into some of our other patches. We can talk about water. People are going to learn going forward that it's all about the water in their bodies. And liver is done. GI tract is done. Next, we'll do kidneys. All right, excellent. So episode 7, next episode will be on the kidneys. So be sure to tune in for that. And we're doing these. Yes, let's, I have this every Friday at noon. Every Friday at noon, once a week. So yeah, be sure to tune in next time. All right. Thank you, Savy. Okay, you're welcome. See you next time. All right.